Take this room as a sign of my fidelity. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
And take this room as a sign of my fidelity. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Make us your breath, your life.
Well, first of all, welcome to everyone. It's been a long haul in time for Hanifa and Tom, where they've been fighting their way through the pandemic with delivering care to the teeth of Manchester. And it's been quite a long trip for most of us to come here. But what a lovely place, and thank you to all the residents of Malta for welcoming us to their beautiful and fascinating country. Now, I am aware that I'm standing between you and two very important things. Firstly, of course, is Tom's speech we're all waiting for, and the second is dinner. So I'll try to be reasonably quick, but let's see how we go. I've got a lot of notes here. I feel, although I've never been here before, that I have some connections with Malta. And it goes back to when I was a little boy and used to like to make airfix kits. Does anyone remember airfix kits? Yeah, we did have plastic then. I remember making a kit of the Gloucester Gladiator. Now, I'm off on a bit of a tangent now, but it'll make sense in the end, honestly. The Gloucester Gladiator, of course, was famous as being the three aircraft, Faith, Hope and Charity, that defended Malta for a period during the war. Although, of course, that was only the pinnacle of the story. It happened when Adolf Hitler had marched into Paris, and Mussolini thought, oh, this is a good chance to get involved, you know, I'll go and pick on Malta. Which he did. He turned his entire air force on Malta, to the extent that Valletta became the most heavily bombed place in World War II. Now, as someone who knows Coventry, that is a remarkable statistic. But he didn't have it all his own way, because they found in the harbour 3 Gloucester Gladiators, which were an old biplane. They were in crates, but they got them out, they got them flying, and whilst they didn't shoot down many of the Italian bombers, they made them fly higher and miss the target more of the time. And these 3 gladiators were known as Faith, Hope and Charity. The efforts of those 3 aircraft, of course, came to symbolise the huge efforts and commitments and sacrifices of the people of Malta, and particularly the people of Valletta. As I say, this was the most heavily bombed place, which is... I'm taking this down a bit, but we'll come up again. In fact, oh yes, I've got a dad joke. Yes, the fact that these Gloucester Gladiators were left in the crates by an aircraft carrier because they were regarded as obsolete. I wonder if that was flight timid. Now, there's a little bit more to this story. I remember that distinctly. That was the thing in my mind about Malta, was the story of the Gloucester Gladiators. I spent my weekends in a little place in Gloucester called Hucklecote. Hucklecote is where the Gloucester Aircraft Company factory used to be. It's now a Tesco's, as often happens, but that's where the factory was, and that's where these aircraft were built. So I thought, well, while I'm in Hucklecote, where the Gloucester Gladiators were built, I can build another one. So if I'm going to have my lovely assistant, we have here a brand new model made up of the Gloucester Gladiator that I'm going to present to the bride and groom later. Now, there's bound to be some so-and-so, smart so that we can all say here, in the audience says, "Ooh, I think you'll find that the Gloucester Gladiator only had the 2-bladed prop, and I built it with a 3. But I wish to point out, although the Gloucester Gladiator in the War Museum here has only the 2-bladed prop, the enterprising people managed to find a Bristol Beaufighter engine which had a 3-bladed prop, and they stuck that on at least one of the aircraft to make it go faster. So, now, The gladiators, they harried the Italian bombers for quite a few days and very successfully prevented them from doing more damage. The poor old biplanes, they weren't as fast as the bombers. If the bomber got past them, they couldn't catch it, but they could at least force them to go higher, and they took down a few of them. Eventually, the rescue came, the first stage of the rescue in terms of some Hawker Hurricanes. These were actually made at the Gloucester Aircraft Company in Gloucester. So I've made one of those as well. That's got the correct propeller on for a Mark II Hurricane, so the fascinating, there are all sorts of links in this. The Hawker Hurricane was powered by the famous Merlin engine, the same engine as the Spitfire and the Lancaster bomber. These were built by the Rover Car Company. Basically during the war, the automotive companies built things for the military, and the Rover Car Company built engines at the Merlin engines at Solihull. I worked there for 30 years, so there's a little bit of a curious connection. The connections go on in that whilst the workforce at the Gloucester Aircraft Company were building Hurricanes, the engineers were busy designing the Gloucester Whittle and the Gloucester Meteor. The Gloucester Whittle was the first operational jet aircraft, and the Gloucester Meteor was the twin-engine jet fighter that came out right at the end of the war. But I think it's quite remarkable that one factory went from biplanes to jet aircraft in 10 years. And what it shows is how, with a bit of creativity and a bit of cooperation, how things can come together even in adversity. I'm no expert, but I'm sure you can make up your own allegory there for Tom and Hanifa's future. The last really peculiar sort of a link in this is my neighbour. I live on a farm. We've got three cottages there. My neighbour's father works as a radar operator in Malta. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to be the father of the bride. The morning, and it was very early morning, that Hanifa was born, she arrived assertively. And she was lying there in this little cot thing, and Pauline was resting a bit, because it was a bit hard. And Hanifa was lying there, and I said to her that if she was a good girl, I wouldn't object to any of her boyfriends. Now, she wasn't always good. See me by the bar later. But not being good is a Greenwood trait, so I knew I was on a safe bet. I've just received a text here that says to not mention being thrown out of the school prom over the bottle of vodka, so I wasn't sure. Anyway, yes, I said I wouldn't object to her boyfriends, but who could object to Tom? The person I feel sorry for is Rob. Where is he? There he is. I mean, imagine being the best man to a rugby player. Because the best man's job is first of all not to lose the rings, but he managed to do that, that was good. But he's got to dish the dirt on Tom. But Tom's a rugby player. We know what rugby players are like. What can he possibly find that he can possibly talk about in this sort of environment? Best of luck, mate. Anyhow, back to Golden Greenwood, as she was described in the press on a notable occasion. Another text could just come in that says, mention I was the champion of everything. But That wasn't quite everything, but she was the 800 metre, was it under 15? 800 metre under 15 gold medalist in the UK club athletics. Her coach thought she had a good chance of competing at the 2012 Olympics, but she decided to concentrate on schoolwork and her later career. Now, I think this is a good thing, because had she not concentrated on schoolwork and her dental training, then she wouldn't have met Tom, and we'd all be in somewhere like Birmingham today. Hanifa was a chorister as well. She liked her singing. Blue ribbon from the Royal School of Church Music, I think, yes. And that led to some of the choices today, and that beautiful choir. Weren't they good?
Yes.
Yeah, they were lovely. Everyone wants their kids to do well, and you don't want to push too hard because it goes the wrong way. But Hanifa sucked up all that was on offer: science, art, craft. The craft was which actually proved extremely useful for dentistry. Certainly for the interview, she made something like it was now, but it was something with lots of little beads on that required lots of delicate work, and it got her interview pass for getting into dental school. So that was pretty good. Her first steps, we were at a hotel in Loch Lomond, and she was maybe about 12 months old, possibly a bit less, hadn't walked a step, and there was a display of glasses. Do you know when you hear these triangular displays of glasses at the far side of the restaurant? And suddenly she just stood up and shot off towards glasses, causing great consternation amongst her parents. Oh, that's just typical. Other things that Hanifa's done, she's very good at fitting solar panels, and if it's the middle of winter and you have to fit some solar panels on your roof, Hanifa's your girl. So Tom, if your roof leaks, send her up there. Yeah. She's very good at laying lime-proof floors. That's another skill, multi-talented. Trying to get her to do with pointing. I thought, pointing, dentistry, it's all the same, but didn't manage to persuade her on that. It's almost the end. Thank goodness she said. So in conclusion, on behalf of Orly and I, can I say how proud we are of Hanifa and Tom and what they've achieved so far. We wish them the brightest possible future. If you've got a glass near you, would you care to raise it? To Hanifa and Tom. Yeah, that wasn't bad, was it?
Good evening. You're almost getting pretty hungry now, so I'll keep it short and sweet. I'd like to start with thank yous. Thank you, Jeremy, for starting the speeches off. I've learned a lot about the Gloucester Gladiator. Before today, Gloucester with the cherry and whites, and the Gladiators was Saturday TV show we used to watch on ITV, so I picked it up. Secondly, Hanifa and I would like to thank you all for sharing the special day with us. I hope you enjoy the celebrations and continue to do so the next couple of days. We're really grateful for all making the effort and blessing these presents today. For the few, I would like to say an extra thank you to, who have travelled those extra hundreds of miles to be with us today. Luke, Erin, and the beautiful baby Ada have come from New York. Carl and Ashley from Oman. And Emma all the way from New Zealand. Thank you to Paul and Nicole for overcoming the logistical nightmare of having their flight cancelled, missing their connection flight, having to travel all the way across the UK the next day, all with a 3-month-old baby in tow. So, thank you. Matthew and Sarah also on a 14-hour delay, so it's been fun and games getting in. Thank you guys, we're happy you could all make it. And now we're all here, let's make the most of it. Now on to the in-laws, Pauline and Jeremy. Hanifa's soul and handyman. You decide. Between the two of you, there are many problems you can't solve. thank you for welcoming me to the family from the outset. I'm proud to now be able to say I'm officially part of the family. Mum and Dad, everyone that knows you know you're legends. Thank you for everything you do and always being there for us. I wouldn't be where I am without you and your constant support. The girls in green, don't they look great? Right, back here. Thanks to all you've done in the run-up to the wedding and getting Hanifa to the church on time. Special thanks to Imogen for helping with the website as well, and all you guys have done. The groomsmen, I'm just going to brush over them and say thanks for the booklets and just leave it at that. And our last booklets, but they've been great today. Thanks so much for all your help. The best man, my brother, thanks for organising the stag. Quite a few nights in Newcastle was just what the doctor ordered. Great bunch of blokes together. I couldn't have asked for anything more. I survived. I'll leave all the other pleasantries about you until after I hear your speech. You've always been a man of few words, and I get the feeling this evening, from my point of view, might be the fewer words the better. I thought I'd finish a little bit with my favourite ex-girlfriend, but now wife, Hanifa. Hey, she looked fantastic as always, I'm a very lucky man. Not only is Hanifa beautiful, she's one of the most caring, loving people around. Family always comes first. Like all relationships, have some great times, some tough times, we always come to challenges together. We've learned from our mistakes. And over the years, I've come with a few keys to Hanifa's heart, so I'll give you a few examples. Whenever going out to a restaurant, make sure you book a place that does chili con carne or spaghetti carbonara on the menu. It needs to have a great list of desserts. Include a bunch of flowers in every weekly shop. Doesn't matter how big the bunch of flowers is though. Remember to buy a gift card or a gift for every occasion. Birthdays, Valentine's Day, Christmas are a given, and I'll factor anniversaries in. But don't forget Easter eggs or advent calendars. I didn't even know that was a thing. Now I buy a card every last month of Sunday, every last Sunday of the month, just to be safe. If all else fails, a well-placed packet of Haribo will always do the trick. Sometimes the simpler things in life that are the best. Hanifa, you're my best friend. I appreciate everything you do for me. I love you very much. I cannot wait to open the next chapter of our lives together, making memories to last us a lifetime. If you go now, stand. Raise a glass. Make some noise. For Mrs. Hanifa Holloway. That's me done.
Hello everyone. So firstly, just like to start by saying congratulations to Jeremy on a great speech before, and also for Tom for his ever so kind words, and for also making the groomsmen today wear the most ridiculously hot black suit on a day like it has been today. So appreciate that, Tom. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to start by thanking everyone for being here on this special day for Hanifa and Tom. Before we continue though, we would like to point out we have both agreed that we are going to keep this speech very much in keeping with the groom. Short and not very funny. So, for those of you who don't know us, my name's Chris, or Cole, long-time friend and school friend of Tom's, and somebody who needs no introduction from me, but I'll do it anyway. Rob, Tom's younger, wiser, taller, more handsome, stronger, better sportsman. Just tell me when you want me to stop, Rob. Smarter and more talented brother.
Thank you, Colin, for those kind words. So at this point, I normally tell a guy about how honoured I am to be best man, but I genuinely didn't know I was best man until today, when I read it in the mass booklet. So me and Corns had to step up on behalf of Tom's groomsmen to do this speech. We'd also like to make a special mention to all the bridesmaids. I have to say you all look wonderful and done an excellent job today. Also a shout out to the rest of the groomsmen. You've been a real help in making sure the day's been smooth. Furthermore, I'm sure you'll all agree when I say Hanifa is looking absolutely stunning.
I couldn't agree more. And for all those among you all who know Hanifa will know that she's a wonderful person who is very much deserving of a great husband. We're just thankful that Tom married her before she actually found one. Hanifa, listen, I know you make Tom incredibly happy. I mean, to be honest, you must do, because he still feels comfortable enough to dress like a middle-aged hobo. But seriously, Tom's always been a great bloke, waiting for the right girl, and everyone who knows you both will know just what a great couple you are together. So, in preparation for this, we heard it is traditional to embarrass the groom in the best man speech. But then we thought, where's the challenge in that? Tom is perfectly capable of embarrassing himself, all on his own. Apparently the most important thing that we needed to do today was make sure Tom firstly got to the church on time. Tick. Looking presentable? Question mark. Freshly groomed and sober. That's debatable as well. Given what we had to work with, I don't think you've done a bad job. I think you've scrubbed up pretty nicely today, mate.
Now, I know a lot of you see Tom, you see that ruggedly handsome man there. An international rugby player, successful dentist, businessman, a real alpha male. But behind this facade, he's a soft, he's an emotional man. You might describe him as a wet. Now, when I was preparing for this speech, I remembered that since he was a kid, Tom always used to keep a diary. And I've recently found out he still writes in that diary to this very day. Now, after some serious reconnaissance work, we've managed to get our hands on all the volumes of this literary masterpiece. And it makes for some very interesting reading. So ladies and gentlemen, please sit back and relax, as we've decided to pick a few of the highlights of the 34 years of being Tom Holloway, aka Hozza, aka Hob. March 2000, dear diary. I've managed to acquire a stash of porn videos from Paresh, my next door neighbour. There's some really good stuff on there. I obviously don't want mum or dad to find them, so I've come up with an ingenious way to try and hide them. I've stashed them under my bed, and I've written the names of genuine films in the videos. Gone with the Wind, Rush Hour 3, Shanghai Noon. So even if my brother or my parents were to find them, I'm sure they wouldn't suspect anything. Now, I actually had to go to mum and dad's house on Tuesday to get some stuff for the wedding. And I thought I'd check under Tom's bed to see if videos were still there. The majority of them had gone, but Shanghai Noon were still there. So I dusted off the VHS player to have a quick look for research purposes. And I was disgusted. Yep, you dirty bastard.
December 2005. Dear diary. Strike! Not sure if that's baseball or bowling, but let's just go with it. Won at bowling again. I played so well, winning the prestigious White City Championships that I even got scouted for the Nationals. Not sure if the guy was taking the piss or not though. Who scouts 10-pin bowling? Anyway, I know I'm great at bowling. Well, I'm great at all sports, aren't I? But the best bit is unlike other sports, the height thing doesn't really impede me, which helps. P.S. Got a decent pic with Alex Ferguson as well with my trophy. Random he was there, but Matt Mady loves it. Top red, top guy. I presume he is meaning Fergie there, Martin, not you. But PPS. Need to remember to polish my balls again, ready for next.
March 2011. Dear Diary. I seem to have developed a strange habit when I'm on nights out. I've taken to biting my mates once I've had 6 beers or more. They seem to be taking it quite well, considering physically assaulting them. They started to call me Nasher, which is quite apt as I'm about to start training to become a dentist. But I really need to stop doing this. You don't want to be known as the biting dentist.
April 2012. Dear Diary. I've been called up to play rugby for Malta. I'm so happy. Honestly, feel like I've reached the pinnacle. I'm an international rugby player. Bit deflated after telling the lads tonight though. Most of them were happy for me and had a bit of a laugh. But Sprucey made a bit of a thing of it, saying, "It's good, mate, but don't get carried away. A one-legged donkey could play rugby for Malta." Now, I'll be honest, that was a tough one to read, considering the audience here today. But I just wanted to tell you, Tom, on behalf of the rest of the lads, how proud of you we are. For all those wondering, anyone wants a conversation later, Spruce is on table 5.
August 2014. Dear Diary. Some good news. I seem to overcome my biting phase. It's been 15 nights out and no one has fell victim to my incisors. However, there seems to be another unfortunate habit that has taken its place. I've started to fish up the boys once I've had 1 too many beers. I think I must be trying to give them impromptu dental checkups, but I don't think they appreciate them. Well, at least I'm not going to be known as a biting dentist. I think the fish-hooking dentist has a better ring to him. September 2015. Dear Diary. I think I'm falling for someone. There's a girl called Hanifa who I met at my Friday dental teaching, and we seem to be hitting it off. We had a few nights out in the northern quarter, and I think she's into me. Haven't managed to seal the deal yet though, but tonight could be the night. I'm hoping I can put into practice all those moves I've learned from Precious videos over the years. Wish me luck, Diary.
March 2018. Dear Diary. It's getting closer, getting closer. I had a stinker today. Corms visited for a filling and I numbed the wrong tooth. Should have seen his face when I did the cold test on his tooth to see if he could feel anything. He nearly shot out his seat. He couldn't really say much and numbed the other side of his mouth by this point as well, and I'd stuffed it full with excessive cotton rolls. He had tears streaming down his face, the poor guy. Why do you find it funny? Ah well, could have been worse. Another 500 quid in the till. I've got to remember, I'm new to this. All these 15 years of education, degrees, master's degrees, training will pay off. And I'll become a competent dentist soon, I'm sure.
July 2020. Dear Diary. I finally got and done it. I can officially call Hanifa my fiance. I only had the ring for 4 months, so I actually got around to asking her pretty quickly for me. We had just had a lovely weekend up in the Lake District. But when I got home, I could sense some tension. I think I was supposed to propose when we were away. I got the impression Hanifa was not best pleased. However, I did some quick thinking on my feet. Went round to Mum and Dad's house, had a quick debrief, then I broke the emergency glass and retrieved the engagement ring. Driving home, quick stop at the Co-op, buy a pack of Haribo. I suggest we put The Notebook on, both our favourite film, to get a bit of romance going. And I slipped the ring into the Haribo packet. I knew she wouldn't be able to resist them. She saw the ring and thankfully she said yes. She said it was the perfect way to end our romantic weekend and couldn't believe I planned it all along. Thank God she'll never find out the truth.
10th of May 2022, in more specific. Dear Diary, I made it. I survived this stag. I actually had a great time, although I don't remember much of the first night. I'm not sure if it was the booze or the fact that I managed to fall down the stairs at the bar I was in and knock myself out. It was actually quite a pleasant trip to Royal Victoria A&E, and it was nice of the lads to let me go on my own as well in the ambulance. I just needed a little bit of headspace, you know. Managed to lose my wallet on the second night as well, but some honest hero found it and posted it back to me. No cash in it though, I was a bit surprised about it. I am still waiting for my dignity to be returned though. Actually, as a bit of a side note, can we, talking of stag dudes, can we have all the stag party up on their feet please? Not people standing up. There's a lot more than that. Given the invite list, it's about 75% of the audience. Guys, listen, me and Rob were talking about it before. We're seeing a lot of upright drinking, and we don't like it at all. Can we have a volunteer from the stag, please, to get into the headstand position and do and finish the drink? Reevey, not you, mate. Wherever you are.
Toby.
Kids here.
Toby, get in the middle, please.
Mr. Adamson, thanks for volunteering.
3, 2, 1, go! Excellent work tonight. Thank you.
Good work, Toby.
It's the big day tomorrow. I can't sleep with all the nerves. I can't wait to marry the most beautiful, talented, intelligent woman in the world, who just so happens to be the love of my life, my best friend, and full-time carer. Now, I just need to hide these diaries away so no one will ever find them.
So, Tom and Hanifa, you finally got married, for better or for worse, which is quite appropriate, as Tom, you really couldn't have done any better, and Hanifa, you really couldn't have done any worse. No, but on a serious note, seeing this many people here go to this amount of effort to be here and celebrate with you today is a real credit to you both. I'm sure everyone here agrees with us when we say what an amazing place this is, not only to visit, but to have it host and celebrate, have it host one of the most important days of your lives. Now, coming towards the end of our speech, it is customary for us to offer the happy couple some words of wisdom. Well, what do we say to you? You guys have done it all already. So what we will say is this: keep making each other laugh, continue to love each other every day, and just keep doing what you've been doing up until now, and you'll have the most fantastic, fun-filled lives together. So all that remains for us to do now is wish you both a long and happy life together, with all the luck in the world. With that, and our last duty of the day, ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the bride and groom?